Well, I have to say I've been very happy with my Jeep Patriot in the time that I've had it, but my plans for this year are to sell it and return to the driver's seat of a Wrangler. So I'd like to take a minute to fill you in on how I got to this point and what my plans are for the future. Stay tuned. Welcome to Starry Project. I'm Richard. So my Patriot here is actually the third Jeep that I have owned. My first Jeep was many years ago when I lived in Northeast Pennsylvania. I had an XJ that was just a workhorse for me. I use it to commute back and forth to work about a half hour each way all year round. Never let me down in the winter driving in snow or anything like that. And it was great for hauling some supplies back and forth to the house that we had built. And it was a very good Jeep, enjoyed having it. But when I moved out of Pennsylvania, it definitely was time to sell it. It had started to succumb to the road salt that's prevalent in the Northeast. So my second Jeep was when I lived in Florida several years ago. I had a TJ Wrangler that I off-roaded as much as I could in Central Florida, usually with the Orlando Jeep Club, and I only did some minor modifications to it, but it was still capable enough to handle anything I wanted to attempt, and I definitely had some good times with it. Although, while I did love it, it did have several issues, mostly having to do with the engine, which was an aftermarket engine that was in it when I bought it. And I won't say anything bad about the engine itself. It was a name brand, well-known engine, but I don't think that it was installed properly, as a lot of the systems that are connected to the engine were having issues. So I sold that Jeep when I switched into a job that required a lot of highway driving, and that brings us to the Patriot here, which I've had for about 4 years and has been a great Jeep to have, very useful for me in my work as a real estate agent, and also fun to drive in several times that we have taken off-road on fire roads and Forest Service roads and other gravel roads. It has always performed well, but definitely not suited for any kind of serious off-roading at this point. So that brings me to where we are today. If there's one thing I realized about midway through 2020, it's that I miss traveling and exploring. For the past several months, I've been living vicariously through YouTube videos of people overlanding and on extended off-road excursions. So, although I have a very limited budget and limited mechanical skills, and as you can see from my gravel driveway, I don't have the best workspace, I don't have a garage. My plan is to sell the Patriot and buy a Wrangler and build it into a rig capable of crisscrossing the US and exploring both the Trans-American Trail and other trail systems, and exploring a lot of the places that I've seen in videos online from other YouTubers. So the plan for my channel is to be a mix of project videos on whatever Wrangler I buy, weekend and day trip excursions around North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia, and then eventually longer excursion videos across the United States. If you want to join me on my journey, I'd greatly appreciate your support by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. My goal right now is to post 1 video a week, although I'll be able to have much more content once I can buy a Wrangler, which I anticipate happening sometime this spring. I'll need all the help I can get, so comments and suggestions will always be welcome on my videos. I'd love to connect with as many of you as I can on Twitter and Instagram, so if you follow me there, I'll definitely follow you back, and you can find me on both at Starry Project X. I want to end this video with a little bit of positivity, and I usually post quotes on Twitter and Instagram about stars. So here's a quick quote from Happy Feet 2. It is, "Look at the stars instead of the dark." So keep that in mind, and until the next time, everyone, never stop exploring and never stop reaching for the stars.